Good morning, beloveds. Okay, maybe my voice is going to hold out. Ooh, okay. We had a very busy day yesterday at work. A very, very, very busy day. It was a good day, but it also meant that I fell asleep on the couch a little earlier than I had anticipated. I tried 3 times to watch the last 15 minutes of this show. Yeah, I still have to watch the last 15 minutes of the show. All right. It is July 6th. Our title is God is Life. Our author is Helen Zagat, and it's from Faith and Works, 1955. All right, let's get into it because it's long. God is life. There is only one life, God life. Life is an attribute in divine mind. Life is the animating principle in the creation. It is the creative propelling force. It is the vital, lively essence that animates the whole of creation. All movement and animation are expressions of the idea of life in the divine mind. This life idea inheres in the omnipresent spiritual substance ever ready to come into manifestation according to the thought patterns of people. God as the principle of orderly good is the life of or vitality and activity within the creation. Divine life is the vital action of divine mind. It is the workable principle, creative activity, the full propelling force. Without life, there would be no expression. All manifest life has its finest cause as an idea of life in divine mind. The cause is perfect. Any imperfect or evil effects are due to people's mistaken use of the power to think. The character of the manifestation is dependent on the character of the thought and feeling patterns of people. Therefore, it behooves us to make consistent effort to change our thinking, to change our acceptance of unstable appearances, or to realization of invisible truth. Through the ages, people have accepted appearances around them that as cause. Ignorance, fear, and lack of reasoning have caused people to build up a mountain of false beliefs that come into form as unhappy formations. So we must learn to clear out false belief and to build into conscious acceptance of the divine ideals. Then these ideals will come into form without a struggle, increasing in power as we become established in faith. Spirit fulfills. All right. It was very logical and very well laid out. And towards the end is where she said, look, you know what? We've made mistakes. And that's why there's all these messy manifestations in the world. What we need to do is go back and build up our faith, our belief, which is why she laid out the argument in the beginning. Okay, look, this is where it comes from. This is where it comes from. This is what's going on. And so here's why it works the way it does. And the problem that we are having is because we don't understand what we're working with. So if we go back and understand what we work with, then we'll do a better job, is effectively what I believe Helen is saying. It's like, look, all life is God's life. It's all coming from the divine mind. What's happening is we have messy thinking, and our messy thinking then interferes with the divine patterns and causes messy manifestations, or unstable manifestations is what she called them. So, if we will clean up our thinking and go back to focusing on the divine ideals, then we will stop having messy manifestations, unstable manifestations. And we won't have to struggle to manifest. That was the other thing I heard her saying there. We won't have to struggle to manifest because we will have gone back and we are using the principle. She called it a workable principle. I like that. So it really does go back to our thinking. And she acknowledged that over time, we have created a mountain of false beliefs. And so it is up to us to challenge these false beliefs, and show them for what they are, messy thinking, false beliefs, and not part of the divine principle. And so if we will go back to and clean up our thinking, and she even said that, she said, clean up your thinking, because she just kind of hits the meat of that right there. Okay. All manifest life has its first cause in the idea of life in divine mind. The cause is perfect. Any imperfect or evil effects are due to people's mistaken use of the power to think. All right. So we got to clean up our thinking. I think that's where that change your thinking, change your life comes from. It's messy thinking. Okay. Due to people's mistaken use of the power to think. It's like we were granted the power to think. We just don't always do it well. The character of the manifestation is dependent on the character of the thought and feeling patterns of people. Okay. So the manifestations, if you look around and you don't like the manifestations that are going on, then maybe you want to go back and look at the patterns of your thinking. Do you routinely, and I have people who will occasionally challenge me, and it's like, don't say that. I was telling a customer, I said, I'm struggling with your name because it's not spelled like it sounds. That's why I'm having, I'm never going to remember this. And he said, don't say that. And I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. Don't say that, because if I say that I'll never remember it, I'll never remember it. But I can change my thinking. Let me get out of that messy thinking pattern. Therefore, it behooves us to make a consistent effort to change our thinking, to change our acceptance of unstable appearances to the realization of invisible truth. So not only are we changing our thinking, we're changing what we're willing to accept. Okay? Through the ages, people have accepted appearances around them as cause. It's like that's an appearance, not a cause. The cause is perfect because the cause is God. The problem is we interrupted the pattern, and we interrupted the pattern with our messiness. We're human. We're spiritual beings having human experiences. We're going to have messy thinking. It's when we realize that we're doing it that we're like, okay, you know what? I can do better. I can do better. And that's what she's saying. All right. So we must learn to clear out the false and build up into conscious acceptance of the divine ideals. Then these ideals will come into form without struggle, increasing in power as we become established in faith. All right. So we must learn to clear out the false and build into conscious acceptance. And I like it. I like it. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, and there's two: make a consistent effort to change our thinking and build into conscious acceptance of the divine ideals. Consistent effort to change our thinking and build up into conscious acceptance of the divine ideals. Okay? That's the mission. It's the same mission every day. Honestly, it's the same mission every day. I just really like the wording on this one. It's like, we make a consistent effort to change our thinking and build up into conscious acceptance. Consistent and conscious. Those are your C words for today. I guess today's reading was brought to you by the letter C. Yes. The great thing about Sesame Street is, because I grew up on Sesame Street, when I went to college, you would come down into the break room and the TV would be on, and all of us would be down there watching, like the room would be full. And we're all watching Sesame Street as college students because it was a nice break. It was a nice break. So, conscious and consistent. Those are the words today for the mission. All right. The other mission is the same mission I give you every day. I'm very consistent in that. The mission of self-care. It is the spiritual practice of taking care of yourself. The spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself. Every day. Every day. I want you to do it every day because I want you to create a habit. A first response, so that no matter what is happening in your life, you can respond lovingly, kindly, and compassionately. Not just to yourself, to everybody around you, but I want you to practice on yourself because you are your own best test subject. And what does it look like? It looks like taking a deep breath before you speak, especially to yourself. I tell you, one of the things that sent me screaming into therapy one time was I heard myself talk and went, this is not okay. So take a deep breath before you speak. Think about what you're about to say to yourself and to others. Take a nap, take a walk, take a break. These are all just the little things. Give yourself a break. Be willing to say no. Be willing to say yes. And you'll know the difference. You know when you need to say no and when you can say, and when you can say yes to a new experience. Not all new experiences are worth having, so you're allowed to say no. But it also looks like, as I like to say, eating dessert first. Okay? Which is my way of saying don't save the good stuff. You deserve joy. No matter what is going on in the world, you deserve joy. So you've got to make room for joy. It is a quality of God. I encourage you to make room for joy. Okay? And that sometimes looks like eating dessert first. But it also means, use the nice dishware and glassware and silverware. Wear the nice clothes. Wear the comfortable clothes. Say yes to that experience. And go do something fun. Don't save the good stuff. All right? Eat dessert first. You don't have to do it every night, but occasionally. And maybe eat dessert for breakfast. There was one clickbait article where I was like, oh, having chocolate cake for breakfast is good for your brain. What? Yeah, no. Having a little chocolate first thing in the morning, not a bad thing, but, too much sugar. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. Okay, so practice on yourself. As I said, I want you to create that habit so that your first response is loving, kind, and compassionate. But I also want to remind you, I want you to create that habit of going to the source of your own being, the infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion. Because you deserve your own love, you deserve your own kindness, you deserve your own compassion. All right? Practice on yourself. Okay. The rest of the suggestions are the basic self-care. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you today. I do encourage you to drink plenty of water. It's been, a couple of degrees cooler. We haven't been in the triple digits, but we're going back in a couple of days. So drink plenty of water. Hydrate. Your body and brain work better when it is well hydrated. And I do encourage you to get that early in your day bright light. I'm talking 5 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes of that between 7 and 9 in the morning. Now, if you can't get out and get sunlight, artificial light will help. But what I'm talking about is a hormone cycle. It's a natural, it's called a circadian rhythm, starts with a C, if you want to look it up because it's science, where if you get that early in your day bright light, it will support that natural hormone balance. You will have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. Okay? Trust me, it's science. And as always, I'm going to remind you to open the windows of your soul. Allow that breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. What Helen was talking about, God is life. It's all God. If there are messy manifestations, then it's because we have gotten into the pattern and interrupted it. But that means we have the power to fix it. All right? Remember, it's all God. It's all God. And when I say open the windows of your soul, what I'm asking you to do is do something that sets your soul on fire. Listen to amazing music. Watch videos like this where we talk about, spirit. And trust me, there's plenty of them all over YouTube. YouTube is fantastic for that. Pretty much all of the CSLs, I think, have YouTube channels now. So, check them out. A lot of the, ministers and practitioners also have YouTube channels. Check them out. But like I said, listening to amazing music, reading amazing books, that kind of stuff. And it doesn't have to be just sacred literature. Definitely doesn't have to be just sacred, music, although that is very helpful. Anything that sets your soul on fire. That's how you open the windows of your soul. And as always, you can take him as advice, look for the good and praise it. Okay? Gratitude will get you everywhere. And when you recognize that heaven is a state of mind, a state of consciousness, not a place you have to get to, heaven can become any place. And that is just cool. And as I like to call it, a superpower. Okay? I talk about the Christ consciousness like software. We come pre-installed with the Christ consciousness. And then I talk about heaven like a superpower. I am such a nerd. And I'm okay with that. Not only am I okay with it, I celebrate it. And, I let my freak flag fly. Okay. I am going to jump into the social media. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark on the social medias that we are on. I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. So please feel free to, check out the content. We do try and put light, bright, uplifting, and funny stuff up for your enjoyment and upliftment and enlightenment. And if you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. And those hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll either take you right to the person that will help you get the information or right to the information. I.e., he always has a hot link for the Soul Session playlists. And trust me, the Soul Session, there's good stuff on the Soul Session. So please feel free to go and just, devour the Soul Session on YouTube. It's a lot of good stuff. And there are several other different playlists. All your favorite speakers have playlists. So if Reverend David has been on, Danielle has been on, Reverend Arthur has been on, I have been on since we started that YouTube channel. We all have our own playlists on that. So, check it out. Okay. I guess I'm at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, a consistent day, a conscious day, a getting into the divine pattern day, a recognizing the divine ideals day, a cleaning up your thinking day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. As I have said before and will continue to say, because it is the truth. It is the truth of your being. You are a beloved child of God. You are a divine spark, a brilliant light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action, or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling, in whom God is well pleased and well represented. All right? Teach people about the God of your understanding. And if you're not sure about the God of your understanding, then get to know the God of your understanding. All right. Okay. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.